Indeed, that is the story on the impact of COVID-19 on the education sector, and not the story that I had indicated earlier regarding the status of COVID-19 and where the journey began. We'll be looking at that story a little bit later on. But let's now look at some of the effects that have arisen out of COVID-19 and the ferry services in the coastal region would present the biggest headache to the government following the pandemic, owing to the high number of commuters using the facility on a daily basis. Now, the ferry channel, which ferries over 300,000 commuters daily, was identified as a potential super spreader of the virus. In an attempt to reduce transmission, the government formulated a multi-agency team that included Kenya Defence Forces soldiers to restructure operations at the ferry. Michael Mwandiga with details of the austerity measures that were put in place.
This is the Likoni Channel. It is often a sea of humanity as hundreds of thousands cross the Indian Ocean waters to connect from the north and the southern coast. The onset of the pandemic will present a headache on how to control the numbers and ensure social distance to minimize contact and reduce the spread of the virus. The government will swing into action and establish a multi-agency team to formulate a practical solution to reduce transmission.
Wale ambao wanabeba abiria, tunahakikisha kwamba pia wao wanabeba wale abiria ambao wanafaa. Kuna ukiukaji wa hapa na pale, lakini polisi wanawakamata, na ndio unakuta kidogo tumeweza kudhibiti hali yetu ya COVID-19, na tunatarajia kwamba wananchi wataendelea kuzingatia hayo maagizo ili idadi ya wale watu wanaambukizwa iweze kuteremka zaidi.
They will begin by mounting hand washing points, mandatory wearing of face masks while on the ferry, and increase the number of times the ferry is operating.
Ferry, kwa wale watu wa Kwale ambao wanapita kwa ferry kila wakati, unaona kidogo kuna ile kuheshimu zile protocols ambazo serikali imeagiza. Wale wanaopanda ferry wanapanda ferry ambayo haina magari. Wale wanapanda ferry kwa magari yao wanabaki wao tu bila watu.
Coast Regional Coordinator John Elungata, who led the multi-agency team implementing the government directives, said there was no room for complacency in the fight against COVID-19.
Authorities zetu za kiafya bado zinaangalia wale wanaokuja kutoka nje, wanapimwa. Wale wanaotoka pia wanaenda na certificate zao. Sisi ambao tuko ndani ya nchi katika kaunti zetu zote 6 tunafanya operations za kila siku kuhakikisha kwamba ile curfew inazingatiwa.
Elungata says they will remain vigilant despite the logistical nightmare before a working formula was arrived at. He said the new Likoni floating bridge for the exclusive use of pedestrians has helped ease pressure at the Likoni crossing channel.
Ile inatumika kila asubuhi na kila jioni kwa masaa mawili kila pande, na hiyo pia imetuwezesha kuwavusha watu karibu 20,000 kuelekea 27 kila siku, na kupunguza ile idadi ama ule msongamano uliokuwa katika feri yetu. Kwa hivyo nafikiri hiyo mikakati ambayo serikali imeweka imetusaidia sana kujiepusha na hili janga kwa ukubwa ama kwa idadi kubwa.
The new measures put in place bore fruits as the spread of the deadly disease was contained at the channel. The government is still urging the public to abide by the health COVID-19 protocols to flatten the curve. Reporting for Channel 1 News from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mwandiga.